Hello guys, looks like 2024 is going to be a very different year. We have started it off with a lot of rain. It rained the whole of last night and I really enjoyed my sleep. It is a beautiful wet morning and I always like to step out, enjoy the morning fresh air and just admire the beauty around me. I always like to stretch out my hand and feel the raindrops. Water in any form has a very soothing effect on me. Days like this make me appreciate the life I've chosen more. A peaceful, quiet country life where I have no traffic to beat, but just sit back and enjoy all that nature has to offer. Simba is looking for some TLC, but not today. He's too wet. Looks like he's been playing in the rain. Do you love rainy days like I do? Look how magical everything looks after the rain. Instead of sitting in and getting cozy, I always like to just be out and enjoy all these beautiful things. Our little animals, all the raindrops on leaves, everything is just so beautiful. I know we are different in many ways, but I'd love to know, what kind of a person are you when it rains? Are you the kind of person who'd rather just coil themselves in bed, get their breakfast in bed, or are you the kind of person who goes out to enjoy nature? I really hated the rainy days when I was in employment because I had to step out no matter what. And all the city has to offer is a concrete jungle with no nature to soothe our souls. My crops are out there in the field, and every farmer knows just how important this rain is to us. When you have your crops out there and you're waiting for a harvest, hopefully a good harvest. When people always talk about farming, they never really get to tell people the challenges we face. They only talk about the positive things about farming. So for people like us who depend on rain for farming, it is very crucial that we receive rain throughout the year. Otherwise, prolonged drought really give us bad harvests, which result in big losses. You can imagine investing so much in something, then you get almost nothing out of it. That's quite a setback, right? On cold days like this, I only like to eat hot food. So I've just got myself some green onions, which I'm going to use to make my breakfast today. And I'm not spending a penny on my breakfast today. Everything is either from the garden or from the chicken coop. Something I really like about living in the countryside is you can be as self-sufficient as possible, growing your own food, keeping your own meat, collecting your own eggs, and also making money out of the farms. I find this to be a very rewarding lifestyle and also very quiet and peaceful. So when I decided to move to the countryside and live this quiet life, I thought I was just going to disappear from everyone else and I was just going to be in some isolated, quiet village and just live my life. But things are really turning out differently. I'm actually getting more recognition now than back then when I was in the city, and it's quite amazing. So this morning I was waking up at around 6 a.m. with a phone call from a friend who told me she had seen me in the local dailies. So I had to get up very early and just get the delivery guys to get me a copy of the newspaper. Well, I did this interview some time back, late last year, and I had actually forgotten about it. I'm preparing my breakfast, but I'm anxiously waiting for my copy. It is such a blessing and I would say a privilege to appear in a leading newspaper in your country, and also to be recognized for what you do and what you love doing. I love farming. It's more of a passion than a source of income to me. I'm trying out a recipe. I think I watched it on Instagram or TikTok. It's my first time cooking my egg like this with the bread together, and it looks really yummy. You should smell the aroma. I always love green onions. My copy of the daily has arrived, and guys, I can see my picture right there at the cover. This is so amazing. This is so humbling, guys. I am so grateful even to you guys. It's your support that has got me this far. I really don't take it for granted. How I wish you could taste my egg on bread or bread on egg, whatever it is. It's so yummy, guys. So here is your girl. Hard work never goes unnoticed, guys. And I always remind you, you can bloom wherever life plants you. Who knew? Right here, deep in the village, I would make my way into the national newspaper. I hope you've grabbed your copy today, and I hope, guys, you are going to learn a lot from here. I've shared my story, my journey in farming, all the challenges that I face, the benefits of farming sweet potatoes, and everything you need to know about growing sweet potatoes. Wow, I feel so elated. Rainy days always go so fast, I think because we spend most of the time outdoors. So I have a few seeds to sow today. I'm just taking advantage of the current rains. I don't know how long they're going to last, but just because our soil is moist and we are receiving a lot of rain, I think it's time to grow things in the free patches. I have a few seeds here of cowpeas and coriander that I'm going to plant today. And I had also some Chinese cabbage in the nursery bed, which I also want to plant here. Hopefully the rain will last until they are strong enough to stand on their own without daily rains, because I really hate that watering bit. Our garden is so big that it's hard to water. We do not have an irrigation system. Life in the countryside can sometimes be very slow and it can get boring sometimes, but gardening has been my passion and therapy. So I don't have to pay for therapy sessions. When I'm down, I just go to the garden, plant something, sow some seeds, weed my garden, harvest. There's always so much to do. And what I like most about having a garden is you will never go hungry, and there's always something to harvest. Nature has favored us with a good climate and good soil, so we grow stuff throughout the year. As long as there's rain, we grow our crops, we grow our vegetables. I know most of you are currently in winter, or you have seasons where you don't plant. For us, we do it throughout. January and February are usually the driest months of the year, but this year things are quite different. It's been raining heavily since end of December, and I don't know if this is what they call climate change. Of course, things are really changing. I've seen in some countries they have things like zones. I don't know what these zones are really about, but when I started my channel and I was gardening, I think people were in the US always asked, which zone are you? Before they knew I was in Kenya or in Africa. So they were like, which zone are you planting? Which zone are you? No, we don't have zones here. Here we just do things the way we know it best. We plant whenever we can, and we are not guided by anything or any laws. We can grow any crops as long as they do well in your area, and they can be grown at any time of the year. If you're out there and you're gardening, please let me know what the zones are all about, the zones you're asking me. I honestly have no idea what it entails. The Chinese cabbage I grew last season didn't do so well. It's a crop I'm experimenting with, and at some point we ran out of rain, and they just started producing flower and seed before they had matured. Someone told me they usually do that when it's drought. They mature earlier. So I'm really hoping the rains will keep raining, or I will really have to water them well so that I have them maturing at the right time. But I really enjoyed the few that we harvested. I made some kimchi and I also ate it just the normal way we cook vegetables, and it was so good. Hopefully I get a good harvest this time round. I always loosen the soil around my crops to allow the roots to extend deep into the soil and fetch their food and all the nutrients they need. As I mentioned earlier, a gardener will never leave the garden empty-handed. So I've got some strawberries that are ready. I didn't even know they were this ripe here. This, I think, is the biggest strawberry harvest I've had. Normally it's one or two that are ripe. Today I have a lot. This is a lot. I think this season I'm going to try to grow my strawberries in a container. As someone advised, they do better in containers. But I'm always really grateful for every harvest. The beetroots are not so big, but we have a harvest. It's been amazing hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support, guys. You are taking me places. I am so grateful. Be blessed, and I wish you a very happy year. Thank you. Bye bye, guys. I'll see you in the next.